everybody, how you doing? My name's Dave, and if you got multiple camera angles, you can call me Daveypoo, the mobile music minstrel. How you doing? Alright, this week we're back with app-specific stuff, and this week we're going to talk about SynthScaper LE and Aparillo. So, here's the deal. Full disclosure. I reached out to Sugarbytes, and I said, hey Sugarbytes, you guys were kind enough to send me your apps before and let me mess around with them. Hey, how about this new one called Aparillo? And they were very generous, and they did. So, I'm doing this because they were generous enough to send me a code. I think the least I can do is talk about their app. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I don't love every single thing that they do, although I do love a lot of it. So I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm going to be honest about the app. It's pretty cool, but I just want to make sure you guys know they did give me the code for this, so that's partly why I'm doing this. So, full disclosure so that there's no pretense here. Anyway, Aparillo and SynthScaper are both in a similar vein for me. They are both very atmospheric, kind of cinematic, big ambient sound makers. They do other things also, but that's the wheelhouse that they fall into for me right away. So I have a hard time with synths like this because I tend to make very consonant music, right? A lot of this channel, or most of the stuff on this channel, is very consonant. It's very song-oriented, right? Radio-friendly, accessible formats. I shy away from long-form things. I shy away from extended things because I like to frame all of this iPad stuff within the framework of like a radio-friendly tune. I think that I've said it before, it's very easy to do long extended ambient things, and I don't mean to take away from the folks that do that. I don't mean that it's easy to make it sound good, but it is easy to just create ambience or whatever, ambience, whatever. So we're going to try to take these two apps that are just big, huge sound makers and create all this washy cinematicness, and how do we rein some of that in and make it make sense in more of a radio-friendly song context. So, I've got something set up here in my old friend 8 Matrix. So, from the top down, I've got my new, if you notice, my new UMC 404 HD. So I just got a Behringer UMC 404 HD interface. It is 4 analog ins and 4 analog outs and the digital converters, and it's a hub, and it's got MIDI in and out and all sorts of stuff, and I'll put a picture of it here so that you can see what I'm doing. Right now it's hidden behind all the camera stuff, so you can't really see it. It's back there for those of you with the top-down camera. I'm not used to this whole top-down thing, so, if I'm talking with my hands a lot, we're figuring it out. Bear with me. Okay, so you can see I have here my new UMC 404 HD is coming in, and then next down is Aparillo, and then SynthScaper LE, and then FAC Chorus, which I'm running my Behringer Model D through. You'll also see that I have an array of controllers over here. I'm doing multiple videos, and I am going to have a video where I talk about how to get all of this stuff working in 8 Matrix. But that's for another day. Today, we're doing SynthScaper and Aparillo. So, I have my Arturia Mini Lab here hooked up to SynthScaper. And I have a sustain pedal on the floor so that I can hold the note indefinitely. Okay. SynthScaper is great for long, slow, evolving things. I have my Keith McMillan keyboard that's here, the first one is set to my Behringer Model D. Now I have it set to toggle, which means it's going to hold the note. I have it that way on purpose. And then here, the second Keith McMillan keyboard, I have this set up for Aparillo. And I have it on kind of a Blade Runner-y, Vangelis-y kind of a horn patch. So we're going to take you through this very, very simply, and we're going to do a real simple setup first. I'm going to add one more instrument in here. I'm going to add Beat Hawk. No, my bad. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to put in Ruse Maker. I have a reason for that. Okay, Ruse Maker. Next and show. Okay, so I just get the MIDI routing here quickly. That's going to come in here. This is going to be receiving on channel 3 or 4? I think 4. 4. Okay, good. Okay. Now, I'm also going to set up a Rosetta XOX to control that also. Okay, so quickly what I'm doing here. Is I'm getting something set up ahead of time so that I can just jam out. So I've got a simple beat here for RuseMaker, and let's see if I can make it work. That should be controlling, oh, it's not controlling RuseMaker, there it is. Now it should be controlling RuseMaker, and RuseMaker should be making sound. Why am I not hearing RuseMaker making sound? You're playing through because I set the filter up on the wrong thing. Gotcha. And this should be sending to MIDI channel 4. Okay. So the whole MIDI channel thing is new for me here, so I'm working it out. Okay. Now we're going to slow that tempo way down. Okay, I'm going to change that up a little bit. Oh, it's going to go there. Okay, let's stop that. Now, I know everything's super dry right now. I'm not going for post-processing at the moment. I'm just going for sounds. So let's get started here. I want to try to keep this one on the shorter side, and I'm already running at 8 minutes. Okay, so here's my idea. We're taking these apps and we're taking these soundscaping things and we're going to make them atmospheric. Now, I've got the levels here hooked up to my nano control so I can fade things in. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the tone. I just hit the lowest C on SynthScaper. And that's going to come up on... Okay, so I can bring that in nice and slow. I'm also bringing in my Behringer Model D underneath. This is sub bass. Now, I'm in the key of C to make this easy. Now watch. So, I am going to add some reverb on the drums here to give it a sort of a cavernous feel, make them sound really, really far away. So let's add some EOS, just the... So, that's a start. Now, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to not talk through it this time. I'm just going to show you how to kind of get into something. Okay, because you have all this big spaciness. but it's tonal. Now, all I did was I picked presets from SynthScaper and from Aparillo. So I'm not designing these sounds myself. These are all stock ones that come with them. So SynthScaper, this is Soundscape Dimension JB. And on Aparillo, this is Dreamer DF. And it only says edit on the end because I saved some of the presets in my user bank that I liked as favorites, since there wasn't a favorites like folder. I just saved them and I put edit on the end so that I knew that they were mine and not the original. So, but I didn't change anything on this, so this isn't edited at all. So, if we start that again, now I'm going to bring the levels down. First thing is we start with that low C in SynthScaper. And then we're going to get that low C of the Moog. Now, I can take this off toggle and we can go okay. Now let's hit toggle here. Now, here's what's tricky. Boom! Now you've gotten yourself into a jam. So, if you want to go any further than that, you're going to have to start programming stuff, but at least now you can sort of see that these sounds can be used as a backdrop or a way to get in. You know, this is super Blade Runner-y. Now, there are some one last thing I want to talk about is just some of the various sounds. Now, that was crafted. I did that. I thought of that ahead of time and, you know, set it all up. Like, let's talk about some of these other sounds. And that's great. I mean, that's so huge. And these two apps, they work really, really well together. That's massive, man. Massive. So, while I don't use these as a launching pad to go ambient, I do use these as a launching pad to go pop. That should give you at least a starting spot and some new ways to think about these apps. Aparillo is fantastic, okay? There's so much going on here, and it's actually not nearly as complicated to program as it looks. On first view, you know, I highly recommend it if you like these kinds of big sounds. Like here's Cinematic. Let's just pick one randomly. Oh, of course, and I picked the least cinematic thing ever. One note. Man, that's crazy. I mean, I don't have a clue how you would get there, but I bet you it'd be really, really fun to poke around and get to that sound. And then SynthScaper LE. Let's just quickly talk about that. SynthScaper LE is essentially, if you are familiar with SynthMaster, the synthesizer SynthMaster 1, they also have SynthMaster Player. And SynthMaster Player, all it is presets. You can lightly tweak them, but it's basically just a player. The relationship between SynthMaster 1 and SynthMaster Player is very similar to the relationship between SynthScaper and SynthScaper LE. SynthScaper is the full-blown app, full customizability, it's standalone. SynthScaper LE is only a light version of it, but it's like the player version. You can manipulate a few of the parameters, but generally it's just a player. But the way that I like to use them is I'll go to the full-blown app and I'll use the randomizer, which makes unbelievable sounding presets. For instance, this is one I made called Dark's Pandemonium. Now, all I did was hit random. I seriously did not do anything other than that. But on minor chords, it sounds especially brutal. I love all the evilness in the background. So, you know, here's one more. Hell's Breath. Again, from the designer, which is the randomizer. Let me see. Let's just pick one note. An A. That is such a big, rich sound. And this is Aparillo. So you see, they're cut from the same cloth. Okay, so you can see now how to quickly get in and use this as a platform to provide you with an intro or an outro or a middle section or just some background atmospherics in your regular tune. You don't have to go full on ambient. You too can use these ambient apps and get some funk out of them. So thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. It helps with the channel and all that stuff. And Jacob tells you that, and Doug tells you that, and Dean tells you that, and Tim tells you that, and Henny tells you that, and Bo tells you that, and all of these dudes that I subscribe to and watch all the time who, God, I really hope you're watching my videos too. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I will see yous guys next time. Later.